Hi everybody and welcome back to another video. In this video I am very excited to share with you a bunch of new supplies and before we say anything else at all, I just have to say a massive thank you to absolutely everybody who is watching this video, subscribes, shares a video with a friend, or purchases something off of one of the lists that's in my video descriptions always. Because at least half of this haul that I have for you today is provided by you guys. So you really are so generous in your sponsoring of the content on this channel. I'm not aiming to make a living out of YouTube or anything, but I do like to share new things with you guys and explore new materials. And this is really helping me do that. So thank you so much. So, in combination with that, a couple of these things that you see here, this is a theme here. Today the theme is watercolours, and which is, you know, the common theme on my channel to begin with. There are two sources of the materials here. One of them was the Amazon wishlist that I have in my video descriptions, and the other was a recent trip that I took to London. And those of you who are in the know in the world of art supplies will know that Jackson's Art, which is the big international supplier from the UK of a myriad of art supplies, is based in London, and they have two stores there. And I went to my favourite one of them, which is the one that's more to the north of London. It's a little bit of a commute, but it was so worth it. I had a little bit of a splurge, but I really wanted to share with you guys. I'll do a little bit of an in-depth review of a couple of these things, possibly in other videos, but I just wanted to get down to business and show you basically what I've been working with lately. So, to something that I will not be reviewing today, but will show you. This is sort of a bit of an anti-haul in a way. I've already owned these things for a little while and been using them, but I just wanted to share with you. Somebody bought me this set of Rosa Gallery watercolours. These are watercolours produced in Ukraine. Really popular on YouTube, lots of different reviews of these, so I will not recapitulate too much, but this is the set of 21 modern colours. It came in this box like this. And these are full pans, so it's in this big box. Came with this swatch sheet so you can see sort of what the colours are like. And they are these full pans. I think I'll remove this sheet here. I don't know if you've seen this before, but you see this little pin here. If you pull out this pin, then this piece of metal just comes off and you don't have to deal with this unwieldy second flap if you don't use it for mixing. And it feels like a bit of a, I don't know, it wouldn't lie flat on a table, so I think I will remove it. And this tin very helpfully has like an extra row for you to add other colours if you want, but it has 21 colours. Really nice range, to be honest. A few unusual pigments. For example, it's my first PG8, which is sort of a single pigment hooker's green. I think they just call it green. And I quite liked their indigo as well, which is this colour here. Or was it this one? That's this one here. This one was the black, I think. So yeah, this is this set of colours. I will say I really love this. They're really great value and very good quality. So if you wanted to upgrade to something closer to artist quality, then this would totally be a very reasonable choice. I really like some of their colours. They're very bright, very easy to use. Just a couple of them had a weird sort of texture. You don't know if you can see the cobalt turquoise here and the, I think it was the raw umber or just umber. Yeah, they were just like a little bit hard to re-wet, which is kind of normal, I guess, but they also just had a very strange texture to them. So I also swatched them out on 100% cotton watercolour paper. Let me just grab that. I love this tin, though, by the way. The dark blue is really nice. Look, everything about them is nice. So here is the sheet where I swatched out most of these. Seem to have managed to get some water on the indigo, so ignore that. But you see how this lovely, deep, rich indigo. Love that colour. But like, there's this weird, it's just a weird texture. A lot of these were perfectly normal, like just nice quality watercolours, nice dispersion on paper. Quinacridone Gold's a little bit of an interesting formulation. It doesn't contain PY150, so it doesn't have as much of a glow. But to be honest, I think the original Quinacridone Gold was a little bit less glowy as well, and it does contain these cadmium pigments, so if you're trying to avoid heavy metals, this is not the set for you, but they might have another set which is. yeah, most of these colours really, really nice to use, really pigmented, but just the cobalt turquoise, I don't know. It felt very strange, and so did the umber, but I mean, nothing that would stop you using them, of course. Like, for example, look at this turquoise. Look at that gradient. So smooth, so beautiful. So we'd wholeheartedly recommend trying them out anyway, especially if you just got like a few pans to try. I think they're sold more and more open stock on various websites online and internationally as well. But so thank you so much to the viewer who purchased this set from my list. It has been so fun to try them out, and I think that they are especially good for sketchbooking, for example. I don't have an example right now because I used these in a sketchbook, which was actually a traveling sketchbook, like a collaborative one that I passed on. But I definitely remember using this indigo for a background. It was just so nice to use in a sketchbook. So yeah, I think that these are really, really nice for that. In the same vein of gifts that were given to me is this set of Princeton Neptune brushes. I'm sorry that I did not unbox this for you on camera, but you can see this is a very nice set of 4 brushes. It's sort of a starter set. So it has this 3/4 inch flat brush, which I was quite excited to try out. 1/2 inch, is this like a cat's tongue kind of brush? And then 2 round brushes, a number 12 and a number 4. And the marks that you can make with these brushes are really, really nice. I've spent a long time messing around with these. Maybe I'll give you a little demonstration in a little bit, but just to introduce those. I also really, really love the quality of these brushes. They just feel so nice. They're so soft to use. They're just luxurious. And this aquamarine transparent, well, sort of translucent handle frosted is just so nice. It really feels like it really feels special when you use them. And I've been surprised how much I've used this number 4, like the little one, as well in paintings. The other brush that I bought rather when I was in London was this Jackson's 10-0 Raven quill brush. I like this one too. I saw Aliona Creates on YouTube, really, really likes these brushes. A lot of people like these brushes a lot. They're very affordable. And I haven't had the chance to try one for myself because shipping from Jackson's to here is a little bit finicky. I do plan to make an order with them someday because if you use the Jackson's link in my description, it's an affiliate link and I get a little bit of credit from that. And so it all adds up and then eventually I can buy some more supplies to show you guys. But yeah, I bought myself one of these. They're really nice. It feels like nice quality. I wanted to see how it measured up against the other quill brushes that I have. Well, quill brush. I have one. The other things that I purchased when I was in Jackson's in London, I really wanted to pick up. Well, I had one friend who sent me this tube of Michael Harding Ochre Eclairs Lemon, which is like a yellow ochre. Which I mentioned in my comparing yellow ochres video, and I was overwhelmed that she just randomly sent me this, so thank you so much to her as well. But I wanted to expand my collection of Michael Harding watercolours a little bit. I considered some of their sets, but they were quite expensive, and you know, no set is really perfect when it comes to the colours that you actually think you would use. So in the end, I went there and they had some swatches above, like some hand-painted swatches on the racks where they were selling these in Jackson's. So I used those swatches to guide my choices and I made myself a limited palette of 4 colours. So I have Yellow Lake, which is this PY180. I was trying to go for pigments which I don't necessarily have already or, you know, would like to try, and this is a new one to me. The Pyrrole Red PR254, which is a very common pigment, but not one that I have in my collection so far. And then this Caribbean Turquoise, which is PB15:3 and PG7. This is a common sort of phthalo turquoise multi-pigment formulation. And then the colour that I was really, really interested to try is this Corinthian Purple. You know I love a warm purple. And this is made with PR112, which is a sort of scarlet colour, PB29 and PV23. So it's a really, really nice nice mixture. And I wanted to see what I could come up with for just like a 4-colour palette. So these are the ones that I got. Slightly on a tangent to this, I've always wanted to try some Holbein Artist Gouache, which is sort of in the same vein of watercolours, so I've also kept it in this video. In the past, I've owned some other gouache that I've used for other projects. I think I have a video where I did like some sort of fun colour mixing with these big tubes, huge tubes of Schmincke Academy gouache. I love these for the volume of paint, but I wasn't really sure what good quality gouache feels like and whether I would, you know, actually use a gouache more if I had like some really nice gouache. So I'm saying gouache a lot. So when I was in Jackson's, I decided to pick up a couple of tubes of Holbein Artist Gouache. So I just picked two colours that I thought I really liked the look of. So I got this grey #1, which is just like a light neutral grey, and this ash green, which is sort of a muted bluey green, I'd say. Just figured that I would, you know, use those like just pre-mixed convenience colours. I think that that's probably likely to be the case for me with gouache, is that I would probably use it more, you know, just one colour at a time, convenience colours, than mixing. I contemplated getting a set of sort of more primary colours and then decided that I don't know if I would use them. So, but I really loved using these. I guess my review for these is that I may be ruined for my other gouache now. Like, I don't know how I'm going to use my how I'm going to go back to using my other gouache. These are so superior in every way. Not in like a I don't know. I guess if you lived in Japan, these would be super cheap and then just honestly like a no-brainer. Where I live, these tubes are really cheap, or affordable, I should say. They're not cheap, but you get so much paint in them, and these are more expensive. But I think that honestly, they are worth the investment. If you want to try out some superior quality gouache and feel for yourself what the difference is, I would recommend getting a tube or two of Holbein Artist Gouache and just giving it a go. And finally, kind of, because I was traveling, I wanted to try my paints before I got home, because I bought these not on like the last day that I was there, I bought them on another day and I had some downtime. So I was like, how am I going to try out these tubes of watercolour and tubes of gouache without like something to put them in? I was just staying in a hotel room. So I bought myself this little stacking palette, which is just a set of ceramic dishes like this. And they came in a nice little box. And the idea is that you can keep your I could squeeze my watercolour in here and have like a little sample that I could use to try out how they mix. So as you can see, these have been well used. I will say the Michael Harding watercolour, it does contain honey, I think. And they're very sticky in the, when you squeeze them out of the tube. I won't go too far into the colours because I think I would like to do a video where I show you this limited palette that I have here, especially these 4 colours, and do maybe like a little mixing chart, and then you guys can see how they work together. So this is the yellow that I got. It's just a very primary yellow. I think I did really well on my colour choices, by the way. I think that if I got another 4 colours, I know exactly which colours I would buy. And I will say that I have not, I don't know if I'll be able to stop myself buying more of these because they are really beautiful, really pigmented. This is one that I've been using for gouache. So gouache really cracks when it dries on the palette, but I quite like using this. You can see I've really gone through this. I was doing a little bit of sketching with it the other day. This little bump here is some of the Schmincke gouache that I showed you earlier. I found that it does not re-wet as well as the Holbein. One thing about artist gouache instead of acrylic gouache is that you can, you know, reuse it once you've squeezed it out, but I find that this one forms weird flakes and just dries in a weird way on the palette, and it means it's much harder to use, you know, dried from the palette. And this was just like some random mixing. But I found that this is quite nice because you can lay out the, oh, the sound of ceramic on ceramic really gets my nerves. I'm sorry if anybody else has that. But the you can lay them out on your desk while you're working and then stack them all up in a nice little pile and then just move them off to the side and move on with your day. So that's everything that I wanted to show you. Perhaps quickly before we go, I could just show you some of the brush strokes that I'm able to make with these Princeton Neptune brushes because I am so amazed with them. And in order to do so, I will just quickly grab some paint from these Rosa Gallery paints. Why not? Don't really feel like squeezing out more tubes right now. And the other colours I have are by far from Pure. If you wanted a little sneak peek, this is the page I did with the gouache yesterday. Just some sort of abstract shapes. I also bought myself a whole bunch of Holbein Artists coloured pencils. I really love their coloured pencils as well. If you'd like to see those, please do let me know in the comments below. Also, if you own any of these supplies that I've shown so far and what you think of them. But yeah, let's just have a look. So this big brush, they hold so much water. I can't remember what the fibre composition of these is, whether they are synthetic or natural or a mixture. I'll just grab some paint here and maybe I'll zoom you in a little bit. Okay, let's see. So you can get really broad strokes. I think the paint drank most of my water. Whoa. So it just keeps going. I've been so amazed by how much painting you can do with just one of these brushes. And it feels very freeing to have like a big square brush. I think that having a small square brush is also nice for different reasons. And just also show you what you can do with the thinner sides. You can get a little bit more of a different stroke. Sorry for the focus, it's going to be a little bit iffy. So you can get some more round strokes if you hold it like that on its corner, and then you can get some really nice thin marks if you use it right on the very edge and with a very light touch. She says, bashing the camera. But this is just like such a really nice brush to use. And as you can see, the paint here from the Rosa Gallery watercolours, absolutely no trouble whatsoever. Really nice. That's just their ultramarine. So, how about their round brushes? So one thing I found with these is that when they're wet, they're very very soft. They do have a spring to them, but they're very soft, like on the paper. So this is the number 12 round, and I'll just take some of maybe the violet, would be fun. So you can try out a little bit of a brush, let's just see. So you can see it really releases in the belly of the brush. But we're still going. So much water in these, and you can get some really fine marks. So I think this is also a very versatile brush. Also some more sort of almost dry brushy marks when you use it on the side. Very expressive. And this brush shape was very new to me, this sort of cat's tongue. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. I know people like to use these for making petals, and it feels a little bit less springy to me somehow. It's always hard to explain a little bit the feeling of what it's like to use a brush. But I can say that these brushes, I mean, just an amazingly generous purchase for me. Yeah, so you can get like these petal shapes quite easily. Oh, I don't know. You have to tell me in the comments if you have any pro tips on how to use these brushes. But I find it very easy to use, and especially on the side. You can see the pigmentation. This is the quinacridone gold that I dipped into here. And you can really like get a lot of paint down in a very short space of time if you need to, which I love. I would say it's like a combination almost between the flat and the round brush, in the sense that you can get these sort of pointy edges to the marks if that's what you're looking for, but then you'll also have the broad coverage that is just very easy to use. And then finally we have this little baby number 4 round. And what colour shall we use? Let's use the green. No rhyme or reason to this. But you can see that it's basically the same as the 12, just a little bit smaller in size. Really, really great for details. And I'd say I've got some amazingly fine marks with this. But it holds so much more water than my other small brushes, which means it's so much less frustrating to use, and you can really like get very precise with your shapes with this brush. And I think it's just what a wonderful set. I think you really have all of the fundamentals covered with this set of just 4 brushes. And I think you have all of your fundamentals covered with this set of Rosa Gallery watercolours. So it's honestly like would be a really nice starting set for somebody just looking to get into being more serious about watercolour, if you're looking for gift suggestions. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys today. I'm sorry that we couldn't provide more of a detailed swatch or anything of these materials, but I just wanted to introduce to you guys some of the new supplies that have been coming into my life recently, and just thank you again for all of your support on all of the videos. It means the world to me. Stay tuned to the channel for a little bit more of an in-depth review on the Michael Harding set of colours that I chose here, plus some information on the colours that I may be adding to this palette in the future. I think that will be a very fun video to share with you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not done either of those things already. It's completely free and it supports me. You have no idea how much it supports me. This channel is just my hobby project, and I love to share this process with this community that we're building here. And leave a comment letting me know your thoughts on these supplies, and stay tuned for another video in the next couple of weeks. Bye everybody.